Happy Thursday. Welcome to Couch Talks. I'm Amy.
And I'm Kat.
And Kat, I don't know if you have to give your little disclaimer spiel thingy that you normally do at the beginning of Couch Talks, because this is sort of like an update episode.
Okay.
Where we got emails from listeners that have formally written in for advice on Couch Talks, and they have sent updates.
So nobody's going to be confused.
Right. Unless you offer additional advice within the emails that are sent. So then you might need to give the disclaimer.
So do you want me to give it?
Sure. I take it back.
Quick disclaimer that even though we're talking about feedback we have given people, and you might take that feedback for yourself, this podcast does not serve as a replacement for therapy.
Yeah.
But you might get some help from it.
Yeah, you might. Or you might not. I feel like someone even said, well, I'll read the emails, but someone maybe, if I included that email, like alluded to the fact that it doesn't always relate to them, but it doesn't matter because you never know like what little nugget you might get.
Well, I'm excited for the updates.
Mm-hmm. And I also sprinkled in a few just random emails, not an update. Like, let me just start with this funny one from Dave. Do you know what I'm about to say?
No.
Okay, this is in reference to our Pay Pig episode from a while back, where I think he wants to be a pay pig.
Yeah.
Or he is one already.
We got a couple emails
and he
about
would
that.
be ours. So it was financial domination, also known as FinDom, where I called my boyfriend. That was a very funny moment during an episode a few months ago. And I was demanding money, and my boyfriend was just like, no. And Dave sent us an email that said, to either one of you, demand money for me and I will definitely pay, no strings attached. Please try it. It'll be fun for both of us. Really, no strings attached. I just need to know how to send you the cash. I can do PayPal or Venmo or whatever. Just let me know. So that's an update on FinDom. And I'm like, we have a donor.
Wait a second.
Or a sponsor.
Okay. If there was a way for us to not be, I don't know, the PayPal and Venmo scares me because like,
would you have to report it to your taxes?
Oh
no, because it's a gift. But it's
a gift.
But okay.
Well, you don't know how much.
CryoCat says it has to be under $19,500, but he said ask for whatever, I'll pay.
So we could get 20. Okay. Well, if he could just like mail the money to a PO box, I would feel better about doing this. But this seems. My first thought was, why wouldn't you do something like this?
Why does a PO box check feel any different than just like direct, like Venmo or PayPal's like direct money?
I don't. In my head, like.
So you wouldn't have to go to the bank and deposit it?
Well, I
Does
guess
that feel better?
In my head, them being able to be connected to my. I don't know. It feels like they could like get in there and like steal something.
Oh, you feel like if you're giving them your
But if I'm just telling them my Venmo name.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave.
Okay.
Are we done with it?
We're joking. I don't think we're going to accept that, but I did think it was interesting that he was offering and that they are out there. So I do have an update from Anonymous. We obviously know her name, but her original email was anonymous, so we'll keep her update anonymous as well. She originally hit us up recently. I believe this was a fairly recent episode. She was asking how to support a family member going through a hard time while also protecting your own peace. Like the family member is going through a divorce and they were calling her every single day and just sucking the life out of her. And she's like, what do I do? And you gave advice not to replace therapy.
You gave some.
Well, yeah, you're the therapist. Okay. And we shared, and she sent a follow-up. And I thought, this is good. And then she went a little deeper into some of her backstory, which I thought might also be helpful for other people if they happen to be a peacekeeper or an Enneagram 9. She'll mention that. Hey, Amy and Kat, I'm so happy my email got picked for today's episode. I never get picked for anything, LOL. I wanted to follow up and thank you for giving me some really helpful perspective on this situation. I liked Kat's question, what are you afraid of? And the reminder that we train people how to treat us. I didn't share this in my initial email, but I have 2 older siblings, and the family member I mentioned is my oldest sibling. Because of our age gap, we've never been very close. Before the divorce, we never even talked on the phone or had a one-on-one dinner, even though we live in the same city. That's made this whole situation feel a little strange and honestly uncomfortable at times. My siblings and I grew up with parents who were high functioning alcoholics, and I fell into the role of peacekeeper. I've always been the one to offer comfort to people, which has made me a bit of a people pleaser. I'm also a 9 on the Enneagram, so I've been working on setting boundaries and learning to stand up for myself. A lot of my internal struggle comes from the feeling that I need to fix situations for others, and I have a deep fear of letting people down. My biggest fear is that someone will be mad or disappointed in me. With my oldest sibling now reaching out and leaning so heavily on me, I feel this huge responsibility to show up, especially because they don't really have a lot of friends. This episode gave me a lot to think on, and I think many listeners could apply it in their own lives too. P.S. I love when you mention KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. I heard that on The Office years ago, and I say it to my husband all the time, and that gave me a laugh. Also, you guys got an email last week from someone saying they don't understand the format of this podcast. And I want to say that you may have some extremely long-term fans that don't enjoy change. But I hope you guys know that you have fans like me who are along for the ride and are just happy that I get to listen to you guys in some capacity. Hope you guys have the day you need to have. Anonymous.
I loved that, all of it. Also, I love that she commented about the format of our podcast. I do want to clarify, though. I don't know that the person that wrote in asking about the format, she didn't hate it. She just was confused, right?
Well, she said here, you guys got an email last week, someone saying they don't understand the format of the podcast.
Right. Well, we got a couple responses to that of people being like, I just want you to know, like, we like it, or like, and I guess I'm just feeling like I need to stick up for the person that wrote in originally.
For sure. That's why in this one, I know she wasn't saying like she hates it, but some people don't enjoy change.
Yeah.
So it might be a little off to them, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like the person genuinely was like, I'm just a little confused.
Yeah.
Like,
Which like maybe some days we are too.
Yeah. And I think that we just,
yeah.
hopefully she got the answer from us that we don't have a specific format.
Yeah.
The format is
no format.
No format.
Yeah, keeping it
But
breezy.
we appreciate the curiosity behind our format and the change because structure's good. Like knowing what you're getting is going to be good. And now that she knows what she's getting because we've explained it, I get your point. Yeah. Some other people reference that. I think like this isn't really an update, but this is just an email from Natalie in Texas. She said, thanks for sharing the email from the listener who shared confusion over the format of the podcast. I personally really enjoy the friendship style conversations. I recently welcomed our 3rd baby and my 2 older kids are back in school. I've entered a very lonely season of postpartum. It's okay. I know it's not forever, as I'm not going back to work this time. So hearing 2 other women converse about topics is very healing. So that's from Natalie. So I don't think that's it's definitely not a slam. I think that maybe other people too were curious and then like they reflect on it is just like I'm listening to my friends talking and I actually enjoy that.
You never know what you're gonna get. I mean obviously it sounds like she got what she needed from our original couch talks we did, but all this information is actually really helpful to think about, like why she was feeling the way she did and being the peacekeeper, and why, like, I mean, I think I would. She sounds like a 9, because I don't know that if I had a sibling that had not been a close relationship to me, would have been able to offer as much as she even did.
Yeah. My sister's a 9.
My husband's a 9.
Yeah.
I think I'm very glad I'm married to a 9. It has helped our relationship in a lot of ways. And
they want to do everything and never let me down.
But sometimes they don't realize like I know from my husband, I don't think he realizes how much he takes on. And I'll even say it sometimes. He's like, it's just the way it is. And so even for her to recognize that, it's a big deal to know that you take that on. Because if you don't know you can take it on, you're just going to pile. So I love 9s. And also, like, it's okay to take a break.
Yeah. It's good. That's a healthy 9 would know to take a break.
Yeah.
Because my sister landed herself in the hospital once. And she was like, I think I'm having a heart attack. And they're like, I think it's anxiety. And because she was trying to fix a lot of things and she was carrying a lot, like being a fixer. And she was like, well, suddenly I feel better. And they're like, that's because we just gave you Ativan. So that also means this is
Yeah.
anxiety. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that's better than a heart attack. But
Well,
she didn't realize how
yeah.
much she was internalizing the situations she was trying to also fix, or how heavy it was weighing on her.
And I'm not glad that happened to your sister, but I'm glad you're sharing that, because I think a lot of people who are in that role think it's not that big of a deal. I can take this on. It's not going to affect me. I can handle it, without realizing how much can happen internally to you, even just physically to you, from stress and playing that role. I think they minimize it because it's what they've always done, but that affects all parts of your health.
Speaking of going to the hospital, I'm just curious, like your thoughts on this, because I was talking to my cousin the other day because she had to have like an emergency situation happen. And it's so funny to me because this is classic her mom. This is just like how she was raised. Like she's in severe pain and has to go to the hospital and ended up having surgery out of nowhere. But that's the type of pain I'm talking about. But before she went, she told her husband, I have to take a bath and shave. I know I'm going to be in some sort of surgery. They're going to be looking at my body. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm in such pain. And she hadn't showered. And so she mustered up the strength to shower, shave, get ready, put on a cute jogging suit, and then went to the ER and then was admitted into surgery. And they were pretty much like, yeah, had we started this any later, this could have been really like far worse. She was like, well, at least I look good. Not look good, but like at least she felt clean and put together. And I was thinking like, would I have that in me? But she's just built like her mom. When her mom passed away, she was like, I better die pretty with my lipstick on, you know?
Have you been to the ER for something recently?
No.
Okay, I was going to say you can.
No, but one time my other friend, this is years ago, got in a car wreck during No Shave November. And she was really freaking out when the EMS was putting her.
I thought. Just for guys.
Yeah. No, girls did it. Well, I don't know. Maybe she was in Colorado, but I think girls did it too with their leg hair and stuff.
And stuff.
I don't know. Whatever. Like their legs. So she, all I know is that when the EMS was like, had to cut her clothes off and her legs were all hairy. And she's like, I'm doing No Shave November. Like, don't, it's like the weird things you worry about that you're not ever played. Like, well, she needs to just worry about her life, right? But she needed to clarify to the EMT, like, my legs are so hairy because I'm doing No Shave November.
I'm not normally like this.
Yeah. Or my cousin, for that matter, she's like, I must take a bath before I go because.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. You never know what you would do in those situations.
So yeah, I don't think I don't think I would be like your cousin, but I do get the anxiety of it. I think I would be like, I hope they're not thinking something like I smell or something, or like, I wonder when the last time she's showered. But I don't think that would force me to shower before I go to the ER, because I think I get freaked out over medical stuff.
Yeah.
Really easily. And I told you this today, I'm watching The Pit, which I highly suggest people watch that show. My whole idea of the ER has shifted.
Because of The Pit?
Yes. And
because of a TV show?
Yeah. Okay. I texted a couple of friends that work in the medical field. One's a doctor and one was an ER nurse. And the one that was an ER nurse said that apparently The Pit is very realistic to what it's really like in the ER. And I texted my friend who was a doctor just because, she's in her residency. And sometimes I get confused about it. And so I didn't know if ER was on her list of places she is going to work. And I said, I don't think I want you working there. It is
intense.
Yes. And I have a new respect for everybody that works in the ER. You have to know, in my head, I'm like, you have to know everything about everything. Like, I'm a therapist and I specialize in certain things. So if you come to me I can refer you out and like, that's okay. In the ER, you have to be able to assess for literally anything. That is a lot of pressure. And I'm also like, how does people's brains work?
Yeah. Different than mine.
Anyway, that's when you say ER, that's where my brain goes. It's like, how do people know all this stuff?
Yeah. I was just curious if you would shower or
Wouldn't.
not to shower before you go to the ER. I
I don't
guess I can't answer it. I don't know.
Well, what if you broke? I mean, I've been to the ER after breaking a bone playing a sport, so I'm not gonna shower.
I
Obviously,
know. I would say I wouldn't either, but I feel like
But would she?
some people, yeah. I feel like she'd be like, my leg is broken, but I'm gonna bathe. Like that's just how it is. I will power through. Like, obviously you don't have control over every situation. Like the car wreck.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just cutting your clothes off, and you're like,
Don't take me in yet.
I just haven't had a chance to shower. Just know that I'm the type of person that would have if I could have.
Also, respect for the women doing No Shave November. I never thought to do that. I might participate.
Yeah. Okay. Next email. Also anonymous with the original email. So the update will be anonymous. It's from the mom that needed advice on her daughter inviting another girl to her birthday party so that the girl could feel included. And we suggested, in a nutshell, that this needs to be her daughter's decision. So she sent us this update. Hey, Amy and Kat, thank you for reading my email and for your advice. I wanted to update you and let you know that I took your advice and approached the subject with my daughter as you suggested, and she decided to invite her to the birthday dinner. I'm very proud of her for making the kind decision, even though I would have respected her decision if it was the alternative. I also wanted to comment on the episode where a listener wrote in about, another one, about the show structure and say that I love the structure of the show and keep doing what you're doing. I'm in a season of life where I don't have time for girlfriends. My husband and I stay busy with our business and children, so meeting a friend for coffee to chat is few and far between. I was being silly when I said that you both are my coworkers, but it really is refreshing listening to your show. It's like you're with your friends, and I love how the conversation can go from something serious to dryer balls. I may not always be able to relate, but I can definitely take something from each episode to apply to my life and also get in a good laugh. I wish you both the best and hope that y'all have a live coming to a city near me. I would definitely make time with some girlfriends for that. Thank you, Anonymous.
I have an update.
Okay.
I got dryer balls.
You did.
I was
Did you get bumblebees? Or
I
plain?
got sheep, and then I got normal.
Like they look like sheep, or they're just
Well, it's a ball.
bull? So they're just plain.
No, it has a sheep on it.
Oh, cute. Okay. I didn't know because they're wool.
Well, when you said they
So
were
I
in the
don't know
shape of different things, I thought it was going to be like in the
No, they're
formation
still round.
of a. Okay, I did not expect them to be so big. I thought they were going to be like the size of like a golf ball.
No, they're like the size of a softball,
Yeah.
baseball.
And Patrick used them, which was a big deal. I don't know if he sold on them, but he used it. I haven't. Also, I had a question about the essential oil.
Mm-hmm.
You just like
I just put a dab on it on like each ball.
Just like a
I
one
use
little dab.
vanilla, one little dab, and I try to like. Oh, here's what I'll do. Pro tip. I drop it on the balls, and then I take where the drops are, and I kind of rub the balls together, so that way the liquid like
okay. So I
absorbs.
don't want to get oil on my
Exactly.
clothes.
That's why I do
Okay.
that. So if you drop it on the balls and then rub the balls together and then put the balls in, because I think one time some of the essential oil from the ball got on like a gray shirt, and then you could see like residue. It washed out later, but
Yeah.
I had to rewash it, and that was annoying. So that's when I started
Rubbing your balls together.
rubbing the balls together. So there's that.
Okay.
We've got an email from Cheryl.
Ooh.
Hey, Amy and Kat, I've been a listener of this podcast from the very beginning and your former Four Things podcast. I wrote in a couple of years ago after my dad passed and my mom had dementia, and your response helped me. I love listening. This morning, especially after the first half, had me laughing out loud when Kat was sharing about the dentist. Just your back and forth conversation made me feel like I was hanging out with friends. When Kat described being a tongue thruster, I knew I had to share. I'm 55 now, but when I was in about 5th grade, I was diagnosed as a tongue thruster. That's you, Kat.
But why
She's
wasn't I diagnosed in 5th grade? What took so long?
Sometimes we just get late life diagnoses.
That's true. Got a couple of those.
The dentist said that as my top teeth were growing in, I was pushing them out with my tongue. So I went to weekly therapy for it. Kat mentioned a Tic Tac. I had to put a tiny rubber band on the top of my tongue and keep it in the roof of my mouth to train my tongue. A Tic Tac seems safer. Then sometimes, along with the rubber band at the tip of my tongue, I also had to put a poker chip between my lips and keep my mouth closed while training my tongue. They called this exercise Mother's Delight. You know why? Because it keeps your child quiet, I bet. I'm guessing.
Oh.
Mother's Delight. Like,
Wait,
here, put this
but
poker chip.
She has the rubber band on the roof of her mouth, and she's
And she
holding-
has to keep the poker chip between her lips with her mouth closed, training her tongue. I would think it's Mother's Delight because they're not talking during that. My mom had to set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes while I did that. Another thing I remember that I had to do was I had to have a tape recorder in my bedroom. And during the night, it would come on at random times and give me messages. I don't remember them exactly, but they were something like, remember, your tongue should be at the top of your mouth. Anyway, I just wanted to share because I haven't thought of this in years. Thanks for your podcast. You always get my mornings off to a great start, Cheryl.
Okay, wait a second. Should we do tongue subliminals? Your tongue's at the
for
roof of your
people.
mouth.
Yeah.
You love holding your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Like, no, I should get
It's
those.
going to be really popular amongst the tongue thrusters out there.
I mean, like, I should make it for myself and then just like play it. Do you think those exist already?
I'm Googling how many people are tongue thrusters.
Also, the rubber band does seem very unsafe. I think I want to stick with the Tic Tac because the Tic Tac will dissolve. And my little brother was listening to this episode, and he thinks that I should sue the dentist.
Really?
He said, "Hold on."
I may agree with that.
He said he was
think we have
texting me
a
about the
case.
things that I had a case for. He said, which I don't know. I can actually do
Shout
this.
out to your brother
he
for
goes-
listening.
He said, "I know, it was so cute."
That is sweet.
He said insurance fraud, dental malpractice, pain and suffering, monetary damages, trauma. Those are all the things I think we can sue for.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
But also, they're a fancy dentist, so I feel like they could like fight me, you know?
Or they may just want to settle because they don't want to deal with you.
Okay, I can be a nuisance.
Yeah.
And I'll
I'm
be
sure
like,
they
and you
have-
didn't even catch my tongue thrust. Who do you think you are?
Okay, so nearly all infants have a tongue thrust pattern, which drops around 50% in early school age children and then 25% in adolescents and adults.
So what is that?
Like we all have it, but most of us grow out of
of
it,
it.
but you are part of the 25%, I guess.
So what you're saying is I'm special?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Thank you.
Let's see. Adults. Yeah. Age 17 but it says why tongue thrust is a concern and it goes into all the issues.
What does it say?
The continuous force of the tongue against the teeth can cause malocclusion, open bites, buck teeth, especially if it persists past a certain age.
I do have is it open bite where my teeth don't touch?
Well, that would be.
Is that
yours,
an open bite?
Or is that I mean, yours aren't like buck teeth, but they're.
But they don't like. This weekend I was eating a bagel sandwich and I had to use my tongue.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was little, I had an underbite, like a little bulldog.
But even when you have an underbite, don't event your teeth like meat at all or no?
No, mine weren't meeting, and my parents, nobody realized until my dad cooked a lot of steak, a red meat, which was harder to chew, not like ground beef, but like pieces of meat. And I would end up, I didn't want to, I was little and I was chewing it and I couldn't chew it enough all the way. So then I would spit it out my napkin and my parents started to find like half chewed up meat. And they're like, why aren't you finishing your food? Like, is everything okay? And I was like, I'm just not able to chew it. So then they took me to the dentist and it was come out underbite. My teeth weren't matching. And so then I got a retainer and fixed it. But then one time at Chuck E. Cheese, my retainer got thrown away and my grandma got in the dumpster to find it. And she found it.
And you cleaned it really, really well.
Yes.
Wait, that makes me sad that you were like hiding your food because
Yeah,
you
but
were just like couldn't. You're like, oh, my teeth don't work.
Yeah, and I didn't want my dad to think I like wasn't eating.
You didn't
his
like
food.
it?
Yeah.
That's also interesting of why you couldn't be like, I can't chew this enough. Did you not want to be like rude of like, you overcooked it?
Yeah, I don't think I just didn't want to draw attention to it. I don't know. That's just how I chose to handle it. I was young.
You sound like a peacemaker.
But to this day, I don't think that's
or
my
maybe you just felt some shame.
Maybe. But to this day, I never crave a steak. You know how some people are like, oh, I just love a good steak? Like, I don't. And I like red meat. But I wonder if my lack of desire for steak is from like the times where I was uncomfortable trying to chew it.
If you go to a steakhouse, do you order a steak or do you get
No.
something else?
I get something else. Chicken, salmon, probably.
Okay. I was like, you go to a steakhouse
Something
and
that
get chicken?
dissolves in your mouth.
Wait, that might really be why.
Mhm.
But do you love a burger?
Yeah, I like burger.
Yeah.
But that's easy to chew.
But you like a smash burger too. That's even easier
Even
to chew.
easier. Yeah. Oh, smash burger. That's so good.
Interesting. Well,
okay. Well, those are our email updates.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So
I
we'd
like
love to hear
updates.
from y'all. So send us notes. If you want it to be a part of Couch Talks, you can put that in the subject. If you have an update, even if it's from years ago, which we had an email from someone that sent in a Couch Talks a long time ago, but they shared their tongue thrusting. Like you can even be like, hey, I've emailed before, but I have this story to tell y'all, or anything that's relatable.
Or any tongue thrust ideas for me. Because I'll be starting my
or laundry
therapy.
tips.
Oh yeah. So interesting.
We're very diverse here. The email is heythere@feelingthingspodcast.com. And on Instagram, we are Feeling Things Podcast.
That's us.
Same for YouTube, all the things. And we hope you have the day.
You need to have.
Bye.
Bye.